This episode of Slams is sponsored by Jesse's Tavern in Chicago Ridge. Jesse's Tavern on Ridgeland Ave offers an assortment of weekly events, from live music on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays to showing sports games with in-house food specials on Mondays. There's also a weekly open jam every Thursday with rotating hosts, including our own Deb Van Drill from our previous Slams episode. Jesse's even has bingo every Saturday 5 to 7 p.m. before the live music starts. Great food, great selection of craft beers, a hidden gem in the neighborhood. Stop by for the best burger in town. Jesse's Tavern, your place to play. Hi, welcome to episode 5 of Slams, the South Suburb local artist and musician shoutout. Today we have Brian Christian Adam with us. Let's get right into what his deal is. Brian Christian Adam, also known as the Endeavorist, is a double threat photographer and percussionist. His services include live photography, producing pictures with his personal and unique style, and for musical acts, he sits in on the African hand drum called the djembe, adding to the rhythm on the fly. Brian, the Endeavorist, has cultivated his skill and passion for both music and photography for years and years, providing an unforgettable experience where he adds to live performance in the moment and captures it for a lifetime. Follow him on Facebook and Instagram at _Endeavorist. That is THE_ENDEAVORIST. The Endeavorist. So I met Brian actually at one of my gigs. I was playing a solo gig, and he just came right up to me and was like, "Hey, do you want a hand drummer, and do you mind if I take pictures? Both." And I was like, yeah, please do both of those things. It was cool because not just because he can do and did both of those things, but I have, throughout a lot of my career as a percussionist as well, just, brazenly gone up to people with no shame and asked them to sit in, both to get experience and to kind of show what I was capable of without any sort of, prior familiarity with someone's music, without having practiced with them or anything. And so I had extra respect for someone who was willing to do that. And Brian delivered it. The photography was awesome, and he added to the performance without overstepping or taking away or anything. When he didn't know something, he laid back, and when he did, he'd let it shine and added to the beat. And we keep our interview actually pretty light and airy, but and I've talked to him about him being comfortable with me saying this, but Brian's gone through particular sort of difficult struggles in his life in the past few years. He actually spent time homeless, actually, and more or less recently, within give or take the last year or two, he did end up, he's at a point where he does have a place to live. He has a steady job now, but he turned a lot of his struggle into what he does now. And I am someone who has also really deeply struggled with mental health. I was never actually homeless, but there were points where I got pretty close, and points where I certainly couldn't work because I was so unwell. And it just is extra special to meet someone who has created this sort of service, the Endeavorist, this entity, especially after having gone through some of the stuff he has. And so it's just extra great, not just because of what he already is doing, but what he's sort of lived through and learned from. And it just kind of reminds all of us that you really don't know what someone is going through, what has happened in their life. And Brian is just one of the kindest and most humble people I know. He's just so incredible. A lot of difficulty can turn someone sour or whatever, and that is not the case with him. So he's just an overall great guy. So without further ado, here is Brian Christian Adam and our interview for today. Bing! Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome. Welcome to the South Suburb Local Artist and Musician Shoutout, aka Slams. Today we have Brian Christian Adam with us. Hi, Brian. You want to say hi?
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being had. So I'm extra excited today because we're in our new space. We have a new interview spot for Slams, and it is in Lockport, Illinois. It is in the same building as the studio, the music venue. So I'm super excited. This is going to be pretty big for us. This will open up a lot of opportunities. This will also make my life easier, I hope, being able to edit more easily and just keep things just kind of looking nice. You know what I mean? So
Got to keep things fresh.
yeah, I absolutely. So I will also mention, this is probably unnecessary to say, but Brian and I had attempted an interview before, and it was very cool. It was held at Nick and Ivy's, also in Lockport. It's right down the street from here. But we chose to try it during their operation hours, and the idea was nice, but the background conversations unfortunately were picked up in the mics as if they were sitting next to us, whispering sweet nothings in our ears. So that was unfortunately impossible to edit out. So we're doing it again, but it's in an even better spot, and we have like even cooler stuff to talk about now, which is great.
Oh yeah,
well.
much has happened. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So as always, Brian, hi.
Hello.
I'm gonna ask you the first question. What's the first gig that you ever had? Now, real quick, I will say, Brian is he's more than your average musician. We've had lots of sort of purely musical talent on this series, but Brian also does photography as well.
That's correct.
And it's not just that he does one and the other, he does them both together at different gigs. Do you want to sort of explain that first?
Yeah, well, I mean, to answer your question, honestly, I don't really remember the first gig I had. A lot of it was I started a long time ago, but mainly about 3 years ago at Bailey Doyle in Downers Grove, and went to a lot of those open mics, and met a lot of people, a lot of amazing musicians who invited me to come sit in on them. So I really don't know what my first gig was, but it wasn't until after the pandemic to where I started getting invited out to regularly play. And sometimes I'd get invited to do photography, and I'd end up sitting in with the band. So I would do literally both at the same time.
So that's funny. You actually didn't set out to have that sort of formula then. It just kind of happened.
Yeah. Where
you were like, since I'm here and I do like playing drums, I might as well. And they invited you too, which is very cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty great. So yeah, what's cool about Brian's approach really is that he combines them for his gigs, and I love that idea partially because if anyone knows me and my one-man band setup, I get bored really easily. So the idea of like only ever doing photography would be like, it's cool, but you get to like kind of go back and forth if you want, and I mean, it depends on the gig and stuff too, but like it's cool that you get to kind of mix the two and to keep things fresh for yourself.
Oh, most definitely. I'm all about the lighting and the angles, and what really I think, I mean, I do take some great shots, but I'm able to because I'm on stage. Mm-hmm. So I get the perspective, and I get to show the perspective directly from the musician's point of view.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that's huge.
Yeah, that's cool. So Brian and I have chatted about his style when it comes to photography and some of the things he likes to use. You don't have to divulge any secrets today. I know you're very open.
Yeah, I will tell everyone my secrets because, and I'm glad you brought this up, when I'm viewing social media, when somebody else is showing photos, I want to see great photos. I
Yeah.
don't want to see, somebody with their head chopped off or bad lighting. Like, I will tell everyone my secrets. I'll tell, just come ask me. I want to see great photos. And that challenges me.
Yeah.
Because then I
Yeah.
need to up my game when other people are around me who take great photos. That's what it's all about.
I like that approach because you're lifting other people up, but you're also, like you said, providing the challenge for yourself, and that keeps things from getting stale for you, and it's gonna push you to greater heights too. Like, a lot of creativity really comes from constraint, I think, and like being forced to go past your limits. And the idea of challenging yourself by also helping other people is really great too. It's a good point though too. Is if you're seeing stuff, it might as well be at the best quality that it can be.
Yeah, and I truly believe, like, I think, because I often tell people, like, just change this setting on your phone, do this on your camera, how about try this angle right here? And I see it reflected on social media, or when people come back up to me and show me photos, like, these are really good. Like, I like that. Or maybe they'll try to outdo me, and I'll learn something from them. Like, we should all share information and learn from each other.
Yeah, I agree. That's so great. Man, so I'll probably be posting like a couple of visuals now of some of Brian's work. What's interesting about your photos, Brian, is there's a unique style to them. Like, you have a sort of like formula, like a mixture of settings and effects and stuff that you add in, and not even just the things like exposure or whatever, or brightness, but you even will add effects sometimes too, like actual mirroring, or
like sacred geometry, or black and white, or silhouette photos. And it's very interesting to find out, because you never know who's going to want just a very clean image of themselves versus somebody that would want something that is a little bit, in my opinion, more artistic.
Yeah.
What I do is I get to know the individual artists, and I get to know what they like, what they don't like, their good sides, their bad sides, what they like to be photographed. You need to learn that about people, and I just ask them point blank, what do you like, what don't you like, and then I adapt based on that.
I like it a lot. And what is funny is sometimes I almost prefer just sort of nice, simple, like just kind of capturing the moment. But then other times, like, especially if it's for a poster or something, I prefer to have something a little more, visually striking, or even, as opposed to, realism of a regular shot, something a little more surreal maybe, or abstract. So it's just cool that you offer that sort of blend of that variety. It's not just about sort of treating the image as it is. Sometimes you add, or even almost kind of create something totally different from the image, which is very cool.
No, it's like we have different genres of music, so it's like different genres of photography. How can I best capture the feel of the moment? Like if the musician plays like psychedelic music, or hard rock, or techno, I try to replicate that, but through photography.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. Like, if someone's playing something a little sweeter and melodic, maybe, then something a little more relaxed, maybe even like blue tones or something. But if it's like, if they're shouting into the mic or something, maybe something a little more
high contrast.
aggressive.
Yeah, if they're shouting in the mic, you want high contrast right in their face.
Hey again, just want to pause real quick to give Jesse's Tavern another thank you for being our sponsor for this episode, and another mention. So Jesse's Tavern is in Chicago Ridge, as was mentioned in the intro, and Chicago Ridge also happens to be where I live. So we're representing my home turf, as well as the south suburbs in this one. So that's pretty cool for me. Jesse's Tavern, one of the reasons we sort of work together on this one is because they are, in my opinion, pretty nice staple of the music community around here. I mean, there's lots of regulars who attend the tavern and listen to, the local bands. Jesse's Tavern gives all sorts of opportunities to local musicians, and it's just an important part of the community. And I mean, geez, their food is really good. The I don't even personally know whoever makes the food there myself, but I mean, they know what they're doing. Oh, it's so good. I got sort of variation of a sunrise burger. The burgers with fried eggs on them last time I was there, and it was friggin' amazing. I mean, all the staff is just so nice and sweet. And yeah, I mean, they were practically no brainer for a sponsor. So I'm glad we were able to work something out with them. And I hope you visit at least once, check out some of the bands. Once again, Friday, Saturday nights, and Sunday, usually noon to 3. There is live music there. It's even going to include me at some point. October 24th, if that is, still relevant when you're watching this. But yeah, I mean, they post a calendar every month with all the different events they have, the different performers, and sports games and things like that. So yeah, check them out. They're on Facebook. They have a Yelp account, all sorts of stuff. So just search Jesse's Tavern in Chicago Ridge off of Ridgeland Ave, and yeah, back to it. I will personally say, so Brian took, you've done photos for me a few different times, but I think the first time in particular, I just remember, first of all, it was just cool that you were like, hey, do you want pictures and a drummer? And I was like, yeah, I'll take both, please. So that was just right away very cool. But the pictures you took, I remember, first of all, they were very flattering. You got very flattering angles, so I can't thank you enough for that. But even aside from that, like you did capture very particular moments, and if may I give out one of your secrets?
Oh, give out all of them, please.
So my favorite one that you told me, and this just maybe resonates with me too, because I have a certain understanding of music theory, particularly with rhythm and stuff. So it resonates with me. You were saying how you want to if there's a drummer or any sort of rhythm or percussion, you want to capture the moment on the snare hit. So it'd be the 2 and the 4 if it's 4/4 time signature. That may mean nothing to some people, but basically there's you can organize a song. You can organize music into different scopes. You can have everything from paragraphs, which would be like a phrase maybe, to measures, which are more like a sentence. And in that sentence, there's certain beats and certain hits. And on that snare hit, you are super right, where if you capture the photo during that snare hit, everyone's doing something rhythmic usually.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's either coming down, to sing a note or even just the last time I tried it, someone was smiling. I caught them right at this perfect smile, and then it was gone after that rhythm, after that note, and I was like, wow, Brian is so right. That's so on the nose.
The other important thing is you can take a lot cooler photos during the chorus of a song versus the verse.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that too.
People generally tend to hold the notes longer, so it's a lot easier to capture that in the moment. Yes. They're really focused versus during a verse.
That's so cool. Awesome. So I will revisit Ballydoyle. So an Irish pub, right? I think my first cover gig I ever did, the first show I played as a drummer, was with Whiskey and Harmony, at least in Illinois, I should say. In Illinois, I played with Whiskey and Harmony. Shout out to Sarah and Craig Hauge. I think it was Irish Times or something maybe. But another Irish bar on the south side. There do tend to be plenty of those. But I remember it though. I don't know why. There's something so distinct about that first gig, and it's just kind of I like asking that because it's so nice to think about where that was and where you were when you started all this, whatever that means for any of us, and where we are now. And you basically have, Brian, like your own business doing this.
Yeah, I am myself a product. I am the Endeavorist. It's
Yeah.
something I came up with a year or 2 years, 2 years and a couple
Time
months.
flies.
So the whole theory behind it was the definition of an Endeavorist is somebody that tries their utmost hardest at all times.
Yeah.
So I have to live up to the name,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I do this fairly well, you know, within the music community,
I would
and
say so.
just spread love and positivity through photography and music.
Yeah, that's so good. As hopefully all of our viewers can guess, I mean, all Slams is about is community. Like, community is huge. We are all so much stronger when we work together. We're all so much happier and get to just have more fun. And
Most definitely.
I think, Brian, you definitely not only do you understand that, you embody that in your approach, which is great. So normally this is the part where I ask, like, when did you get your first instrument? What I will ask you, because we have
I could tell you
a
that.
few options. I mean, I want to hear how you got that drum, and I also want to know when you first started, like, you had the equipment to snap photos. So if you don't mind, let's start with the drum. Maybe,
Oh, sure.
'cause this
I
is-
got my first drum, my djembe, when I was in college. I was 20 years old. Somebody came over to my townhouse and just started playing it. And it was something about the bass note. When they'd hit that bass note, it literally, like, I don't know, it was very cleansing.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt great every time he hit it. So
Yeah,
I went out and I bought one, and I bought a smaller one, and it just didn't do it for me. He happened to like the one that I had and asked me if I wanted to trade. So I literally got that same drum that he brought over, found out that I was now the 8th owner of it. So now that drum is 32 years old, same head, haven't changed the head.
Oh my God.
I have a friend that's borrowing right now because I feel like if someone is going to use a drum, I'd rather just give it to them. They can hold on to it and be the steward of the drum for a while.
Yeah, I like that.
Because I started doing this so often, I wanted a drum that had a better tone to it and was a little bit more authentic.
Sure.
So that's why I got this one right here.
Yes.
It's from Mali. It's made out of solid mahogany with goat skin. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah. So I don't think we can see it in my shot. I think we can in Brian's though. So this drum, I've personally found that using actual animal skin it's just better. I don't know, the sound quality is better. It's like richer, but it's definitely tougher to upkeep. There was someone I met once who used they had a method where they put a bunch of dough, like for bread. They had like dough, like moist dough on the head, and that moisturized the head, because that's the thing. You want to keep it moisturized to a degree, at least occasionally, and then let it dry out and settle and stuff. There's like a specific method to it. I'm not like an expert or anything, but so the upkeep is like kind of intense, and there's greater risk of it being like kind of permanently damaged and stuff. There's the alternative, which is like plastic heads, the WeatherTech or whatever, right?
Yeah,
WeatherTech.
they're synthetic.
Which are great. I don't even, there's no like perfect or right, whatever works really. But and I even think they sound great. I even would argue that the high tones are maybe not superior, but very rich in their, on their own. But,
Oh yeah, most definitely.
but what's nice is that it requires almost no upkeep, and it's a lot cheaper. You don't have to sacrifice any goats to get the new head. But anyway, so enough shop talk, I suppose. When did you get your first camera gear?
I've had cameras my whole life. I think I really got into what I do now in 1999, where I bought my first digital camera, and
Cool.
I really enjoyed editing photos, mainly of myself. I just like taking pictures of my eye up close and seeing what I could do with that. And
That's cool.
everyone's always loved my photos. I just never really had a platform to show it to a much larger audience. So,
Sure.
Yeah, it's been quite a while that I've been doing this.
Awesome. And One thing I like too is you didn't sort of start, like, you didn't set out to become the Endeavorist. It kind of almost happened. Like, you already had this thing that you were doing and you had experience with and you cared about, probably most importantly, you cared about it. And you found an opportunity to actually, basically get money for it. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
So like you could, as opposed to, I think a lot of people will start a business or start doing art or whatever with the end goal of money or whatever, or status or something. But I think a lot of, and not that there's one, right formula for success, but I think a lot of the most successful people start with what they love first. Like they have this thing that they deeply care about, and they build up skill with inevitably just because you do care. And then, before you know it, you find you have something marketable. You have something that you can offer to people, and you, Brian, have that, and it's unique.
Also, I think it's essential, and I'm not trying to give myself props here whatsoever, but I think it's essential that, because I do it for the love of music and people.
Oh yeah.
That if there's a charity event or anything like upcoming, or that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So if I have the time and I have the energy, which I do, I want to do that to help people out. If they can't afford it, then I still want to do it. If I see somebody being extraordinarily passionate about what they do, I want to help them, because this is what I love doing, and I don't feel right just doing it for money. I don't.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that it loses something when your only goal is money, and that can be tough. I mean, that's the struggle a lot of people have. Is finding that balance between, like, well, this is a paycheck, and and still keeping like the soul to it, I suppose.
Yeah.
However you might put that, but I think you've hit an excellent balance, because I mean, you as exhausted as sometimes I think you get, we all do, that we're on that grind, but I think that you deeply care about it, and you have a good balance with it, and that's just like, that's so great to see, and that's one of the reasons I wanted you on, Brian, is so we could talk about it.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm truly blessed to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to our very first iteration of Real Quick Reviews, where we review the food at our chosen location. This iteration's location is Jesse's Tavern. Here is our review of the food there.
It's really good.
Thank you. That has been our first iteration of Real Quick Reviews. Okay, bye. I think you're ready for the final question.
Sure, let's do it.
Awesome. So today's final question, we've had a variety of different types of questions. This is certainly not the deepest question. It's really not even like the most thought-provoking, but it is a really important one. It's an essential question. Brian, do you support pineapple on pizza?
Oh, most definitely. One of my favorite pizzas is pineapple with mushrooms.
Oh, so we had talked about this last time in our first attempt. That's how we got on mushrooms, because you like them on pizza. I really don't like mushrooms under pretty much any circumstance, and I deeply respect your enjoyment of them. And I personally also support pineapple on pizza, but mushrooms, I just don't want them in my life at all.
I mean, the pineapple has to be like done upright. I think if you have like fresh pineapple and it's not like overly juicy or sugary, that would probably go over well. And you got to have something to like balance it out. So like pineapple and bacon maybe, or something like salty sweet, kind of balance of life.
The sweet matches well with even the saltiness of like the crust, if they had that, but definitely for bacon and stuff, it's like it adds to the mixture of the flavors. People, internet, I'm looking at you, internet. Anyone against pineapple on pizza, you add us in the comments immediately. But I'm in support. I think it has its place. If you don't like pineapple, that's fine. We still love you. We still care about you, but shut up. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
don't shut
why
up.
stop at pineapple? Why not strawberries?
Ooh.
Blueberries, kiwi. I mean, what?
Oh my god. Oh, kiwi
Yeah.
on a pizza.
Grilled kiwi pizza
Oh my god.
with like some Asiago Romano cheese, kind of like the really salty kind of cheese.
You take notes, restaurant owners, please. Pizza makers.
Yeah.
Try it out. Try some kiwi. I really like that idea. I agree with you with what you say though about you have to prepare it right too, because like I think it's good when you like bake it just right, like it's just starting to burn on the edges a little bit,
Oh, yeah.
but like not like just you barely stop then. And I mean it can be hard to time with the whole pizza maybe, but I don't know. Anyway, the hard hitting questions we're addressing them. So all right, internet. Now that I've unleashed that storm. We're gonna move to the final segment. It's gonna be a little different this time. We're gonna have footage of Brian doing his thing. Normally we would have it in the interview room, but yeah, we're gonna have some footage of him at some gigs and doing what he does best. I would say.
This ought to be interesting.
Yeah. So we're gonna cut to that. Brian, thanks for having us. Do you want to
Thank you for having me, Zach. It's been an honor. Thank you.
Plug some stuff. I mean, you already mentioned the Endeavorist, so where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, _Endeavorist, or you can find me just through my name, which is my real name, Brian Christian Adam. Yeah, 3 first names.
The internet will eat that up.
That's really the best way to find me right now. And you can find me in reality. Typically, what I do is posted via social media. I got nothing to hide. This is where I am. This is what I do. And come meet me. I absolutely love it when I find people that I don't even know that come up to me and thank me for what I do, or just love the positivity that I try to put into this world. It's really it warms my heart, and I do appreciate each and everyone that does thank me, and it's a big reason why I continue to do this.
Yeah.
So please come find me. Let's be friends.
Awesome. That's before we do our final cut to the last part, I agree. I mean, this is one of the amazing things about what like all of us do, like everyone who's been on this and the artists and musicians that I know is like we get to like share our lives with people doing these things, and it's not even just about what we create, it's about all of it, like the people we get to meet and come across and work with. Like you said it so perfectly, so it's just great that we get to do this. So let's cut to seeing Brian doing his stuff. Yeah, bye, thank you.
You're asking me to say, please, please, please don't go away. You say you're gonna be the blues. You mean every word you say. Can't help but think of yesterday. Another love who will tie me down to the lover boy before this real love. She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when it does cry. part of this was mine. I wanna fall in love tonight. Will you still love me tomorrow? Will you still love me tomorrow? So tell me now. I said, sister, you're gonna do. You wish you were in my shoes. So just keep on using me. Oh, I'm taking you with me.
Hi, we're still here, and I just want to point out I have made shirts for our interviewees. Brian's gonna grab the one he got and point out two on the back.
I got slammed.
Yeah, it got slammed by set. It's really bad. Like
The king of puns
grammar-wise.
does it again.
Oh yeah, yep. We're all fans of puns on slams, on big slams, and we can't get
Slams.
enough. We're gonna have Mike and Jess on a future episode too. We all love puns, and yeah. So this is the shirt though. If you want one yourself, even if you haven't been on an interview, but you want to declare to the world you've been slammed by me, you tell your mom. Tell your parents you've been slammed by me with this shirt.
And I guess I should give one final shout out. Thank you to Laura at the studio and to Johnny over at Johnny's Blitz. To be able to go to these places and just make noise. Basically, they allow us to come there and make noise, and I take pictures, and everyone loves it. The atmosphere is just phenomenal. You get to meet amazing people. Check out both of those places, please.
Yeah. One last thing too, Brian, I forgot. I'm so sorry to bring up the bunker. So you have like a gig, like a regular gig, and it's videography too, right?
Yeah, so I do I am on camera one for the bunker, which is an all indie original live stream. We do it on YouTube every week, so tune in. And
Yes.
I've been doing it since about March. I was lucky enough to be invited by Andy Victory and Rachel Darling from The Secret Lives to come take photos, and I haven't left. I just keep showing up every week, and yeah, the what Fletch Towel is doing there is amazing. He's given an amazing platform with extraordinarily high quality video and audio to allow original artists to present their music to the world. And it's getting better and better all the time.
That's so great. I mean, that of course hits home for me because I'm trying to do something similar, just give people a spotlight and stuff. But that's it's very cool. I've spoken to Fletch myself since, which is one of the reasons I'm excited about this second attempt of ours to bring that up. The bunker is this incredible resource, and it's just so cool that you get to be part of it. And once again, we can't even anticipate some of the opportunities for stuff we get to do until it happens for us. And before you knew, you were like the videographer a videographer for the bunker. So that's cool. So we just wanted to give a shout out for that too.
Yeah, it's amazing. The universality of music is beautiful, and so when somebody else that I see like Fletch notices that genres don't matter. Nothing, color, race, age, nothing matters.
None of that matters, people.
Just make your music, be creative.
Yeah. So good. All right. Well, let's just bask in the wholesomeness. And now that we've also shouted out the shirts and Fletch, I think we're good. So... There's a truck in the background. Okay, bye. Bye. Thank you.